Hi, and welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science 5 Questions Over Coffee. I'm here with Ted and Leigh. Hi, and welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science 5 Questions. I'm just going to mute all of that because it's very distracting. I'm here with Ted and Leigh. Are you getting that feedback as well?
Yeah.
I don't know where that feedback is coming from. I'm going to try and just sort it out for a moment. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Are you getting that feedback as well? I don't know where that feedback is. Oh dear, I don't like this feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. Just shut everything down on the computer. Is it gone? Dear, I don't like this feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. No, it's not gone, has it? That's horrible.
No, yeah.
I don't know what to do about this. Hang on a second. Is it gone? I've never had feedback like this before. No, it's not gone, has it? That's horrible.
No, yeah.
I don't know what to do about this. Hang on a second. Is it gone? I've never had feedback like this before. I think I'm going to have to put it out and come back again. Do you come back on the same link?
Yep.
I think I'm going to have to put it out and come back again. Do you come back on the same link?
Yep.
I think I'm going to have to put it out.
Should we leave?
Come back again. Do you come back on the same link? Yep. Please be better. Is that better?
Yep.
Yes.
I think we had it open on another link.
I think it was the other link.
But it was the other link though. Sorry.
No problem. Listen, we're having fun. That's the important. I'm really grateful to you, Ted and Leigh, for taking some time today. We're just going to do 5 questions about your business, and let's try and have a sensible discussion as to business owners. So, what's the ideal client, and what problem do they have when you first meet them?
So generally, when parent bosses come to us, they are tired, they are rushed, they are stressed. They're not living a life that feels good to them at all. They're not spending any time, like proper quality time with their kids or their partner or their friends. Their health or their mental health, like physical or mental health, might be suffering. Or they might find that they're not getting results in their business like they want, just because they're trying to keep up with every single part of life.
Yeah, and I know as a parent, or at least now of a much older person, that difficult balancing act is almost impossible to make happen, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So what problems do you see them having and making before you try and sort of help them to do what you do?
Well, I think they're sort of, I guess they're out of whack. You know, they're feeling like they're not achieving what they want to in their business. They're not being present as parents. As Terry mentioned, you know, they're stressed. Their health suffering. You know, their work performance is not great. Their sales might be suffering. They might be turning over staff because they're not paying enough attention in that aspect as well. All these things are sort of contributing and piling onto them, and it's just building up and building up and building up till they have to do something. And I think some people, you know, then go, well, business isn't for me, and they go back to a job, or, you know, or something else has to give.
Yeah, sometimes a relationship will suffer.
Yeah.
You know.
And so what's the intervention you bring? What's the thing you do to try and sort of resolve some of those issues?
Yeah. Well, I guess we try and change their mindset a little bit. So we get them out of the mindset of having to do everything themselves. They shouldn't have to be, you know, attending to every single job, doing everything day to day, at home and at work. It's breaking that mindset of, you know, it has to be me. Only I can care as much as anyone else, sort of thing. So it's breaking that mindset and getting them to understand that there's help out there for them to do, you know, survive better and get along better and thrive better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Terry, you were going to.
I was just going to say, quite often when we've been brought up, I don't know about you, but we were brought up with if you want to get somewhere, you've got to work hard. If you want something done well, you've got to do it yourself. No one is going to care about your business or your money the same way that you do. So then when you take that into a business, you've got all those things playing in the background. And so you try to do everything because that's how you think you'll be successful. And same at home, a good parent, make sure you got nutritious meals, the house is clean, you're there for all the events. So you try and do that because that's what you've been shown a good parent is. So when we sort of talk to them and say, that was when we were all brought up in, 70s, 80s, whenever you were brought up, that was sort of the mindset. We're 20 years into the next century now, where with COVID and even before that, there is so many different support things that you can get the same benefit without you being the person doing it. So we just sort of take them out of that. Might have worked back then when there was one parent at home more maybe and one more person who goes out to earn more, whereas now most people tend to have both people working in the household. So it's just changing that mindset so that they understand that they can still get where they want to go, but maybe it does not have to be them doing every single thing themselves.
I think it's a great mindset to try and change as well, isn't it? Because I speak a lot to people who own businesses, and it worries me that so many business owners often try to do everything themselves, as you say, because they never ever believe that anybody else can care as much as they do. But also they have to recognize that very often they are not the very best person to do their accounts. They are not the very best person to write the copy for their website, because actually there are people who are highly skilled and better at it, and they would be much better off giving those jobs to the people who are good at it. And as I often say to them, that they do what I call, they use the path of least assistance, because they do their very best to sort of say, well, I'm the only one that can possibly care enough, but actually they're not very good at it. So they end up being stressed about things which they don't actually need to get stressed about.
Yeah, exactly. And you're exactly right. That's it's not their area of strength, right? So it's not their best use of time. It's a job that can be done by someone where they might pay themselves less, frees them up then to earn more.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So what's the valuable free resource and free action you bring to the audience today that will enable them to grasp some of these concepts a bit better?
Okay, so if people go to our website, parentbosslife.com, and there is a free ebook there that is the five
quick ways to get back 8+ hours in a week.
Yeah. And that just goes through, that's more of the home-based sort of, outsourcing resources that people can use. And we go through a lot more, in other areas for your business as well. But with this freebie, it just gives you quick and easy ways to get those 8 hours back per week. And there's things that we've done. Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Falling across the bottom of the screen at the moment is that website, which is parentbosslife.com. And that's a free resource that gives you back 8 hours a week.
Yep.
Which I think is a whole day, if I remember my
math.
It
is.
Pretty much. Exactly. Yeah. But it's all the stuff you end up doing out of your regular work hour. So it's, you have your work hour plus all this extra stuff that you have to do. So
if you were having to work Saturdays in order to keep your business going, but now you can spend Saturdays with your kids, this is the way to do it. This is the way to get your Saturday back, so that you have Saturday watching the kids play footy or whatever it is they go and do, or gymnastics or swimming. You get the opportunity by doing this to actually spend that quality time, even with your spouse if you have to. You can even do that. That's
you might want to do work instead. You never know. Yeah.
So great. So that's a great free resource. Has there been a particular book or concept that has really sort of helped drive your thinking on the way in which you manage your business?
I think for us, it was more about not a book per se, but it's just through experience for so many years of being business owners and being parents, we just could not make this concept of the equal 50-50 work-life balance work. In reading that everywhere, you're supposed to be able to have equal time in each side. And you might just get the balance right, and then one of the kids will be sick, or you lose an employee, and it gets thrown out of whack again. So we could never make that work. And we realized that it was us running backwards and forwards between work and life and work and life and work and life. It was more like a pendulum. You know, we wanted to be able to spend time, like proper time, focused time on one side and not worry about what's happening over the other side because it was taken care of. So I guess the concept that we sort of took was the work-life balance 50-50, and we just sort of turned it on its side a little bit, if you get what I mean.
I do. I have to be honest with you. I do get a little bit upset with the words work-life balance because they should never be in balance. For me, I've always thought, you know, if you hold a small sweet that's yellow up at arm's length, it can look like the sun, but I can absolutely promise you one is very much more powerful than the other. And, you know, to be honest, if you think of your business as that small sweet candy and the sun as being this big yellow ball, which is actually your family, one of them is the thing that you should be spending more of your time worrying about. So, you know, it is not a balance, is it? It is supposed to be making sure that you keep the important things important.
Exactly. And that just leads to so much stress. You know, everyone's, because it's a buzzword and what everyone should be doing and all that sort of thing. It's what, you know, the pressure's on you, you know, both sides of a partnership. And that's where the stress comes from. So if you sort of, you know, it's about giving yourself a break. It's about, you know, managing your time. And as Terry said, making sure the other side is taken care of so you don't have the worry on that side.
Terrific. Well, look, we've had a great discussion, but I bet there is one question that you're currently thinking, I wish he would ask me this really important question, which he hasn't yet asked. So I'm going to give you the opportunity now, which is where I relax. And I think I've done all the questioning I can do now. So I'm going to give you the question now. So what is it that you wish I had asked you? And please, once you've asked the question, then also answer it. Otherwise, we won't get the value.
We'll just leave it hanging. I think for us, one of the key things is who are the most important people to us to help us live a good parent boss life. And for us, you know, in the business, we personally wouldn't go into a business now if we didn't have a bookkeeper, if we didn't have a person who did our social media, if we didn't have staff who were trained in all the different jobs. So if someone came out, someone else can easily slot back in and it's not us having to fill the holes. So, you know, they're the most important people on the business side. What about on the life side?
I think in the home side, it's, you know, it's those honey-do list sort of things as well, you know, whether it's out doing the lawns for an hour or two and the garden, everything on the weekend, or, you know, is it someone to clean the house so that someone's not slaving over the toilets every week for, you know, all this countless hours. It's those sort of things that we just sort of, they're almost non-negotiables now that, you know, that's our time. We want to protect it. We don't want to have to spend that time doing that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Brilliant. I love both those concepts. This has been a fascinating discussion. My apologies that we had so much technical issues at the beginning, but I think it's been a really fascinating discussion. I love what you're doing, Ted and Leigh. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It is so important for people to start recognizing that work and life need to be put in the right balance. Let's not pretend it's 50-50. It's the right balance. Yeah. And, you know, to be honest, I think the message you're giving is absolutely the right one for the times, and particularly for those stressed bosses, stressed business owners who are currently trying to do everything and believing that they should be able to manage everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Listen, if you're watching this, and you would like to be able to receive an email, we send an email on a Monday morning and let everybody know who's coming on to the podcast and for the interview this week, and get on and watch these live, because they are brilliant teachings. People have got some fantastic stuff to come and bring to you. So get on to the newsletter list, and that's tca.fyi/subscribe. That's tca.fyi/subscribe. You'll get a notification of when the notes from the podcast come out, and you can see the links that people like Leigh and Terry Ann give with those free resources, which are just brilliant. And if you do like this stuff, well, tell all your friends and subscribe, because you'll get more value from it. Terry Ann, Leigh, I can't call you Ted. You don't look like a Ted. Ted, Leigh, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I really do appreciate all you're doing, and I look forward to watching all the stuff you do on social media and everything else in the future, and everything you're doing with it. So that's really brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for
the opportunity.
Thank you.
We
really appreciate it.
Thanks.